Hi, I'm back again and we're going to do these relaxation position lying down section of your class. So coming onto your mat, maybe with your little cushion and your hand weights and band nearby if you've got them. If not, don't worry, we'll sort something else out. So if you lie onto your side, roll onto your back, maybe with your little head cushion or folded towel under your head. Make sure your pelvis is back in your neutral position and softening the ribs down. We just bring the arms up to your shoulder drop position, arms and palms facing each other. Soft elbows, fingers connected together, and then inhale, reach one arm and shoulder up to the ceiling. Exhale, softening back down. So inhale, little reach. Exhale, release. You can continue with the alternate ones, or if you want to do both together, you can inhale, reach. Exhale, release. Inhale, reach. And exhale, release. So just to warm up those shoulders and soft through the neck. Once you've done those, if you've got light weights or with bottles of water or your cans of beans, we're going to grab those. We're going to bring the arms back into that shoulder drop position. Try not to lock out the elbows, so slight soft elbows, wide and open across the chest and collarbones. Definitely connecting into your centre. And as you inhale now, we're going to slowly open the arms out to the side without letting the ribs flare or pop up. And then exhale, gathering back together. Try and keep the wrists in line with your forearms. So inhale, open, and exhale, coming back up. Inhale, open, and exhale to come back up. Good. So gliding open, and then returning. So continue with that if you want to do some more. I'm going to add on, but if you'd rather just leave the arms down by your side and do knee drops on their own, so one leg opening out to the side without letting the pelvis shift, you can do. Otherwise, I'm going to suggest we do the opposite arm and leg. So as you breathe out and centre now, open out one arm and opposite leg, but try not to let the pelvis shift, the other leg open out, and then we're coming back in. So we're going to start with the exhale and centre now, and inhale to come back in. So opening out, but with control and stability and strength through your centre. And when you've evened up with those, you come back to that midline, rest the arms if you need to. Otherwise, we're going to bring them back into your shoulder drop position and do ribcage closure of one arm. So as you breathe out and centre, we just glide one arm back, up and overhead, and then we'll inhale, return. So exhale, centre, other arm, try and keep that connection with the shoulder, release the arm into the shoulder rather than the shoulder right up to our ears where they like to hang out. So do some with just the arms, and then our add-on will be that we add a leg slide. And if you'd rather just do the leg slide with the arms down, that's fine. Fortunately, my foot's just out of shot, so I'll describe that in a moment. I'll just shimmy up a tiny bit. So as you breathe out and centre and put all that together, one arm goes back to ribcage closure and the other leg extends away. You can inhale, pause with the arm, flex the foot, and then exhale, slide that leg and the arm back in again. Just caught the edge of my mat. Be careful not to let your back shift as you're sliding either the leg or the arm away. So as you exhale and centre, sliding, keeping that leg parallel, arm connected without bending the elbow or the wrist. Inhale, flex the foot, pause the arm, and exhale to glide it back in again. Okay, I'm just going to do one more of those each side with you. Up and over your mat. Good. And then once you've come back from there, just pop your weights to the side, fingertips to your collarbones, and a few little circles just to loosen up the shoulders if you need to. And now here is where we're going to grab your band or your stretchy scarf if you have one. So coming into a single knee fold, even length of the band, and just bring the band around the arch of your foot. Try to start with knee over hip, elbows on the floor, forearms up, and really good alignment through the wrist so you're not pulling the wrist into funny positions as you go. Then we'll lengthen that leg away to your hamstring stretch position. I would suggest starting with the knees pretty much in line with each other and keep that tailbone anchored down. Once you're there, we'll see if that leg will ease up, but don't force. Go where you can go and take a few breaths into there. If it's comfortable for your back, you could extend the other leg away, but keep it bent if you need to. And then once you've had a few breaths there, just check your foot is flexed. Actually, mine's flexed, so it's slightly out of shot. And we're going to do a very small and controlled lower end lift. We're not moving the arms to do that, it's using the leg in the band. So as you breathe out and centre, we'll slowly lower that leg down towards the floor. Just go where you can go without any sort of feeling of your back shifting or arching. Inhale, pause, and then exhale, gliding it back up. We're going to do up to 8 of these. As you do this, consider if you feel a lot of gripping around the front of your hips and your quad, just see if you can consciously maybe switch on the glutes and the hamstrings to activate, to really drive the leg up rather than dragging it up from the front. Okay, so I'm going to just switch over. Okay, so square off that pelvis. Do your brief hamstring stretch first, a few breaths into there. Square through the pelvis. And then once that's organised, as you breathe out strong centre, you're lowering that leg. Inhale, you can pause, and exhale, bring it back up. So up to 8. If you feel any pull on your back, please reduce the range, or you could do a different exercise instead, which I'll just give you an alternative in a moment. Again, just make sure that it's not overly gripping at the front. See if you can switch on your glutes and hamstrings to help bring that leg back up. If that lower end lift isn't appropriate for any reason, I suggest you come up to a knee fold, bring the band around the back of the thigh, elbows on the floor in that same position, but you're supporting the leg with the band, knee over hip, release that shin, breathing, scooping, and you can do some stirs there, but keep the pelvis steady and the other leg active and up to the ceiling. Okay, so that's just an alternative if the leg lower lift isn't appropriate. Keep your band nearby. We're going to do some spine curls now. So with your spine curls, it might be that you don't need a head cushion because you don't want to sort of jam your neck into it as you come up. So I'm going to just go through spine curls on their own. Feet might need to be a little bit closer to your bottom so you're not gripping or cramping in the hamstrings. Open across the chest and the collarbones with arms and palms down. So normal spine curl. As you breathe out and centre, we begin to curl that tailbone, peeling the spine out one vertebrae at a time. Breath at the top. And then softening, peeling, and releasing back down. Okay, so stay with that version if you need to. I'm going to give you an add-on if you'd like to try that. And so your other version is that you put your band again and you hold that band shoulder drop position. You could have fingers long or a loose fist, wherever you're able to maintain a good alignment through your arm and your wrist. To start with, reach your arms and the band towards your thighs, if you're almost rolling them up your thigh. And as you breathe out and centre, now we're going to come up to your spine curl again. So staying in that spine curl, breathing, scooping, take a wider hold on your band so you can pull that down so your hands come towards the floor. So my glutes are having to work and I'm opening up the front of the hips. Stay lifted with your pelvis. Do breathe. On your next exhale, let the arms glide up and over to ribcage closure. Breath, and then peeling and releasing back down, leaving the arms. And then once the tailbone has landed, you can inhale and bring the arms back. Keep them active, not floppy like noodles or anything. So as you breathe out and centre, peeling that spine up. Add that pull on the band. So work those glutes into that, open up the front of the hips. And inhale, gliding back. Breath, peeling, and releasing back down. Good. Okay, so roll that band up your thighs. We'll do one more of these. And then gliding up. Breath, peeling, and releasing back down. Good. Okay, so again up to 8. See how you go, how much time you've got as well. Then we pop your band down, grabbing your cushion back under your head if needed. Legs can be hip width or they can come together for this next one. So this exercise I call sticky knee folds. So some of you will know knee folds as you glide the leg up, but we're keeping the pelvis steady. But I want you to imagine that I've glued your feet to the floor so you're not able to lift them because I've stuck them with industrial strength adhesive. So bring your hands just behind your hip bones, your fingers come in a little bit. So as you breathe out, and engage your centre in your tummy. Imagine you're going to lift the leg, but it doesn't move. It's glued. But you should feel some reactions or deep in that low tummy. you can inhale, release that sensation. So as you take a breath in, breathe out and center. Get that sense if you're going to lift one leg, but it doesn't move, but hopefully there's some activity in your tummy. Stay with that sense of lifting one leg, if that's better for you today. Otherwise, you can get the sense that you're going to lift both legs up, but we aren't actually doing that. We're just getting that sensation of lifting. So you take that breath in. As you breathe out and center, get that sense you're going to lift both legs up, but you don't. You should feel quite deep work in your tummy, and then inhale, releasing it down. Okay, so you can carry on with that idea of lifting one or both legs without them moving. So imaginary knee folds, and I always say, if only we could just picture and imagine everything and achieve it, wouldn't that be great? But we can't, so we'll make the most of it when we can. So the next option I'm going to do is called Stargaze. So this is not quite a curl up exercise. I'll explain. It's using the upper abdominals. So you're going to bring the hands behind your head, ideally interlock the fingers, cradle your head in your hands, so thumbs at the base of your hairline, keeping that tailbone heavy, and the legs can be together or hip width, elbows in your peripheral vision. For Stargaze, inhale, get a sense of length through your neck, and just flick your gaze to the opposite corner of the room. As you exhale, hovering up that upper back. So I'm still really in neutral, but just hovered up, and I do feel quite a lot of work here, getting that connection of ribs knitting down towards my tummy, and then you can inhale, slowly lower back down. So some of you in my classes, you know that this is your version to stay with. This one, for most of my clients with osteoporosis, osteopenia is okay. If you aren't sure, leave this one out, because it might be better to learn this one with someone to help you. So you can do the Stargaze on its own, or you can come up to your Stargaze, take a breath, keep scooped, and then imagine you're going to add that sticky knee fold again, but you don't actually move. Inhale, release that sensation. Exhale, get that sense you're going to lift the other leg. Inhale, release that sensation, and exhale, return. You can also add that, you hover up on the exhale, inhale there, stay lifted and hovered, and as you exhale, get that sense you're going to lift both legs. You don't. And then you can slowly release and float back down. So stay with that version if you need to. Some of you know curl ups are okay for you, and if so, you can carry on and do a few curl ups with me now as well. So head still heavy in your hands. You inhale, we go into more of a chin tuck now. Keep that tailbone heavy and exhale as you glide into your curl. So ribs knitting down as working down the abdominals. But inhale there and exhale, slowly peeling and releasing back down. So the same kind of spinal articulation. Inhale that you used with your spine curls a little while ago. You can add this, inhale, chin tuck, to your sticky knee fold. So take your breath. As you breathe out and center, get that sense you're lifting one leg, but it doesn't move. Release that sensation. Exhale, stay lifted, add the other one. Inhale, release that sensation. And I'll do one more. We'll get that sense of lifting both legs. So inhale, chin tuck. Exhale, glide. Inhale, pause and stay. Exhale, get that sense you can lift both legs. Keep that head heavy in your hands. Exhale, you can release. And slowly lower back down. So uncurl. If you need your cushion back, please use it. If you need to let your head roll side to side a couple of times, please do. I'm going to go through brief oblique curl-ups because I'm sure you all love them, really. Maybe not. We'll bring the legs to hip width, and we might actually add a knee fold with that today. So for your oblique curl-up, keep that tailbone heavy, head heavy in your hands. We inhale, chin tuck, exhale, gliding into your curl. Take a breath. As you breathe out and center, rotate. Breath back to the center. Exhale over to the other side. So stay with that version if you need to. You inhale, chin tuck. Exhale, glide. We go the other way first now. So add that rotation with the ribs. Try really hard not to shift my pelvis. And over to the other side without dropping down. As a special treat, if you want to, you can come up to your curl up, add your rotation, opposite knee fold. Back through center, square off the pelvis, over to the other side if you can, and add your knee fold. Good. There you go. That's enough for me, but you feel free to do some more. And then we'll land Bring your cushion back if needed. I'm going to just go through hip rolls. So our normal hip rolls that a lot of you will be familiar with legs and feet glued, arms in your upside down V shape, and ribs knitted down. So wide breath there. As you breathe out centre, let the pelvis and the legs peel over one way, neck and head the other, keeping that upper back connected to the floor. Breath, and then gliding back. Okay. So you can stick with that version if you need to today. The other one I was planning to add on today is using your weights if you've got them out. So you bring the arm back to your shoulder drop position with soft elbows. And it's similar to the arm opening we did at the start. So as you breathe out and centre, pelvis and legs go one way and you open the arm out the other side, turn your head to look at it. Not just flop the arm onto the floor, keep that quite active. And the other arm stays in your shoulder drop position. Breath there. As you breathe out, you spiral back to the centre. As you breathe out, centre, pelvis, legs one way, arm, neck and head the other, without peeling upper back from the floor. Breath. Breathe out, gliding back. So with this version, especially if you've added your light weights, you should feel a little bit more work through your obliques. If you'd rather finish with some blissful ones with your arms to stand by your side, just pop your weights down and return to that position with your arms in your upside down V shape. And if you need a full body stretch at the end, feel free to glide the legs away without letting your back arch. Maybe both arms back to ribcage closure, wide out to the side if you want to. Okay, and I'm going to pause here and then we'll move on in a moment to do a side lying sequence. Thank you and see you in a moment.